Hello and welcome to History of Dragon Ball. Today we are looking at the technique known as Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct is one of the most powerful and one of the newest techniques that we have come across in the Dragon Ball universe. Most commonly it is used by divine beings, in other words, the angels. The most important thing a user adapts to with Ultra Instinct is that it allows the user to react automatically to any attacks, making them incredibly hard to hit, let alone cause damage to in combat. So as we know from the manga so far, it is of course Goku, who is no stranger to a good power boost, who has until recently struggled to really use the technique to its full potential. However, during the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc, Goku was finally able to tap into the technique once more with the help of the being known as Merus, and by the end of the arc was able to use it to defeat the energy-absorbing villain Moro. As we come to expect with all things Dragon Ball, there is little to no chance that Goku will stop at this point. And this is where the latest chapter, Dragon Ball Super Chapter 68, reveals there is in fact more that he can still learn. So what is everything that we do know so far about this technique? Well, why not start with having a look at how it affects the user's appearance. The hair colour is a common thing to change with transformations, and this one is no different, with the hair now becoming silver in colour, with the eyes matching as well. The hairstyle is slightly wilder and more solid than normal, having no loose strands, along with the eyes taking on a more stern and defined shape too. Also in the manga, the user generally has a bit more of a focused and calm expression upon their face. There is a slight addition to this in the anime, where the user gains a silver and blue aura consisting of rippling fire-like energy, complete with sparkling particles of a magenta colour. The user's muscles remain virtually the same mass and definition too. While initially in the manga, the user's muscular structure becomes slimmed down like Super Saiyan God, but by the time Goku activates a more sharpened state during the Galactic Patrol Prisoner saga in the manga, the user's muscular is similar to that in the anime. Upon the user's first successful transformation into the autonomous Ultra Instinct, a shell of black and bright white covers the body, before crumbling away as the hair fades from glowing white to silver. A similar effect that has been seen when transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. Now, moving on from the appearance, what about the usage and the power of this technique, and how does it work and what are its results? Well, as with basically every new discovered transformation or technique within Dragon Ball, this one too causes power to raise to extreme heights. As we first look at the manga, Goku achieves this form after maintaining great calmness over his own heart and mind's emotions when Jiren starts using a lot of his power. In this state, Goku easily outmaneuvers and overwhelms the non-fully powered Jiren. However, Jiren powers up to his maximum later on, and from here the two battle actually quite evenly, with Goku's Ultra Instinct form eventually wearing out, then putting him at a disadvantage. Obviously that is until Vegeta comes to assist. But what about the anime? How is it done there? Well, this form has incredible levels of power. It retains its strength and effect on Goku's Saiyan power abilities, allowing his speed, power, general efficiency and ki to increase as he continues to fight an equally or even more powerful opponent. Its most notable trait is how it makes all his moves automatic and able to both defend and counterattack with complete ease without being hindered by the thoughts that previously made Goku's use of autonomous Ultra Instinct imperfect. Goku had to let go of all of his doubts and live in the moment to fully understand Whis' teachings, thus allowing him to access the full potential of his fighting ability. Despite being a form that acts on neutral impulse, Goku can still channel his rage to amplify its power to staggering new levels, as shown when Goku's initial stalemate against the limit-breaking Jiren became a crushing assault that quickly pummeled Jiren into submission after Goku's fury at Jiren's shameless attack on the spectators. He also displayed such vast ki control that he could calmly repel and contain any energy assault thrown at him too. Now, what about the future of this technique within Dragon Ball? This means going back to the manga again, and here we learn more in the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc, which of course there is no anime for yet. This comes from when Goku trains with Merus to obtain control over the form. Merus surmises that Goku initially obtained the form in an extreme crisis or a matter of life and death, and concludes the quickest way of achieving it is to replicate those conditions. Merus then goes on to explain that Ultra Instinct will activate when the user achieves self-control in the face of a jarring shock to their emotions. And so, during the climax of the final battle against Moro on Earth, Merus tells Goku that, thanks to the training he spent with the Angel, he is one step closer to mastering the autonomous Ultra Instinct state. Merus then comes to sacrifice himself, and it is thanks to that sacrifice that Goku manages to gain full control of his emotions. Goku has now managed to activate the state at will to the point of being able to shake the entire planet with perfected power achieved through his conscious domain of the transformation. He is then able to overpower Moro in such a way that his power has been praised by Beerus as having at last achieved the style of the gods. Despite me saying how he is mastering it, that does not mean that he has truly unlocked all of its power. As Dragon Ball likes to do, we discover that Goku's knowledge of Ultra Instinct is, well, far from perfect. For example, we learn how the Angels have an even higher grasp of it, and then the Grand Priest having an even higher grasp than them. So that must mean that there are still limitations to this technique too. So what are these? Well, what we know so far is that despite the form's incredible levels of power, there are still some negatives to it too. This form has a very high cost of stamina, making each exertion very stressful on the user. It is also noted by Whis and Merus that this problem can be overcome with enough proper training, meaning that there is of course still plenty more for Goku to aim towards. And I will add that there is a little difference to the negatives in the anime as well, in that they paint it in a fairly similar way to the overusage of the Kaioken technique that Goku learned from King Kai all the way back in the Saiyan saga, meaning that the user can only sustain the sheer power of Ultra Instinct for maybe a minute or so before their body breaks down from pushing so far beyond their natural limits. The time limit ending is shown from blood rupturing from the user's body as well as dark black ki from purple electrical shocks that will cause severe pain and eventually force them into unconsciousness. Whis does also note that it could potentially kill the user too if they tried to push for too long. But now let's go back to the manga again, as initially the form simply just runs out after a relatively short period of time, leaving Goku without enough energy to even become a Super Saiyan at this point. Whereas when you compare this to the anime again, the decline in performance is more subtle and gradual, becoming more obvious with the growing signs of fatigue before finally dropping out of the form completely. Moreover, Goku apparently attained autonomous Ultra Instinct purely by accident the first time he does so, as the next time he discusses it with Vegeta, Goku replies that he is unable to tap into this power at will, meaning that the form can only appear if Goku is in extreme danger, which, to be fair, is quite a Goku thing to do. So there we have it. That is basically everything we know up until this point that there is about the Ultra Instinct technique. At this point in time, Goku is still doing his very best to master this technique, so I'm sure there will be more information on it in the future, and when we learn more, we will be sure to update you here on the channel. So I do hope that you've enjoyed going over everything that we do know so far about this technique, and with this video approaching its end, I have a question for you all today, and that is, do you think Ultra Instinct will be the last transformation Goku achieves? Or do you think in time that he will find something new again that can overpower this? I'd be very curious to find out what you all think in the comments below. So thank you if you managed to reach the end of this video with me. Please remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, do all that great stuff, and I will see you next time on History of Dragon Ball.